All right.
So it's live.
Should we are live? Unofficially? Oh, it looks like we are live. We are live. What's up? All right, so it worked. So let me tweet this link. You could also tweet this link if you want, but I'm gonna tweet this link. So wow, the chat is moving fast. Okay. And we are live with the link to the live stream. So, okay, wow. Hi. Hey. It's going to be hard to keep track. Oh my god, it's literally... Alright, I'm going to take a Snapchat of this because I cannot possibly read. And this is what happens when you go live on YouTube. Wow. Hey. Alright. So, I kind of just wanted to talk live stuff in general. We can make this about whatever, but I'm looking at the chat here. How does the... First of all, how does the audio sound and how does the video look? I'm in focus right now. You'll probably never guess what kind of camera we're using, but I'm in focus right now. How does the audio sound? Good? Thumbs up? Thumbs up emoji? Look at this. You literally, are you seeing the chat right now? You literally cannot read a single thing.
Well, there's a lot of good, so that's a good
Yes. Good, good, hey, good, fine. Okay. It looks like... Looks... Yes. Good, good, hey. Okay, so you can hear me. That's good. Now I can attempt to, like, answer and read questions. No, but so here, like, I was thinking for YouTube live stuff, I've done, like, a bunch of Instagram lives, as you've seen, and that's just kind of like maybe right before a video is about to go live or right after a video goes live or something like that where we just talk about what's in the video. We could use YouTube Live to obviously talk to all of you guys. There's a bunch of you watching right now. The other thing is I want to enable like slow mode or super chat or something because like if I say something in the chat, chances of it being seen right now are pretty slim. Pretty slim. A lot of people asking about Twitch is the other thing. I don't think I need to switch to a different platform to go live. Twitch is great, but obviously you guys are already here on YouTube, so I don't think there's that many advantages of me starting from scratch on Twitch to go live. Jeez. Mostly a lot of people saying where they're from. How long is the delay? I think the delay is like less than 15 seconds. So between when I say something and you actually hearing me say something. Oh, by the way, okay, so my daily driver right now is the Essential phone. Here's my wallpaper so you can see it. This is what I'm testing right now, but obviously Note 8 just came out. That's something that has to show up soon and be tested, and there's some other things here that I'm testing as well. But I've always been a dual carrier, like carrying two smartphones person. So it's always an iPhone and an Android phone. Right now it's the iPhone 7 Plus, red, 256 gig, AT&T, and the Essential phone, black, ceramic, 128 gig, AT&T. Well, it's unlocked, but that's what's up. Oh boy, that's a lot.
So none of this helps, but you can pop out chat. And
Yeah, I can have a pop-out window, which is... Let me do that. Slightly bigger, but also still extremely fast. Oh, that's a little easier to read, actually. Pixel 2, is it going to have wireless charging? I don't know, but I don't think so. There's a lot of Pixel... I did a Pixel 2 rumors video, and that just covered everything about Pixel 2, what we know about it, what we're expecting from it. Wireless charging was not one of those things. Oh, you can mention people in the chat. Well, if you mention me, I mean, obviously anyone can mention me in the chat, but if you mention me, then it like highlights it for a second, and then it's gone.
You're going 8.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't. Yeah, slow mode is on. Yeah, if there's still a lot of people, so slow mo doesn't really mean anything. Oh boy. Yeah, see, if you tag someone in the chat, like it shows up as, you see that? It's orange. Or they're just tagging me. So anyone who tags me, it gets highlighted. We're all figuring this out live. Just
Bananas is the organized. What desk are you using?
what desk is this? This is the desk. Ooh, I don't remember I can't link to it, but it's Artifox. Artifox, Artifox. Desk 002. It's got these bunch of modular things you can swivel in and out of it. This little piece here is cool for holding things. There's a lot of desks in here, but the desk behind me is the NextDesk Air Pro. And it's a custom sized version of it. So you can't get one that size unless you literally email them and ask for it. But yeah, that's what's up. I'm going to turn this off. There we go. The chat is so fast. Yeah.
Alright, so what you can do is if you, in the middle of chat, you scroll up. It's kind of
It'll pause it.
So you
Yeah.
just gotta spin the wheel, get lucky.
Is the audio still in sync? Someone said it's out of sync. I think it's still in sync. It'll pause it. Yeah. It's like maybe a eighth of a second out of sync, but it's probably not that bad.
If it is very, very
It's very small. If your audio is out of sync, refresh, and it'll probably get as close to live as possible. All right. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna pause the chat so I can read one. Favorite year's phone till now. Favorite year's phone till now. Well, I just tried Note 8, and it was pretty awesome. That's kind of a no-brainer, but it's like brand new. And we're right around the corner from several really important phones. In fact, let's talk about that. I brought this over here for a reason. This iPhone 8 dummy. We're expecting iPhone 8 in like mid-September. We're getting that launch event mid-September, and then we're getting the official, the final like release is probably like late September, 20-something. That's kind of how they usually do it. And then all but confirmed is the Pixel 2 event will be early October, like October 5th. Last year it was October 4th for the original Pixel. So we're going to get the Pixel 2 pretty soon. We're going to get the iPhone 8 pretty soon. We're going to get LG V30 really soon. We just got a Central phone, and we just got Note 8. So my favorite phone of the year is going to the answer is going to change a lot in the next little bit. Yes, the Hasselblad's over here, right here. I love that thing. I love this, by the way. The Hasselblad is changing the way I take photos. It took the thumbnail for this. How old are you? I'm 23. Sony A9. I haven't tried the Sony A9 yet. So what are we thinking about live? Like, how does this feel? This is just a mic and the camera set up and like reading chat. But like, there's a bunch of different ways to do this. If we do like different gaming ways, like if I'm playing games, we can do like a windowed version of me inside the game, or switching back and forth between the game stream and this. But this is it's pretty chill. Slow down, guys. I don't think saying slow down is going to make anyone slow down, though. How's Apollo? Oh, that's a common question I keep getting. I think it's a surprising amount of people who, like, when they see me in person, they're like, hey, like, I enjoy your videos. How's the car? Is it okay still? Because, like, the last video they watched about the Tesla or about Apollo is the one where I had problems with it. I think that's maybe the most viewed video I've made about my car. It's fine. It's had no problems since then. But I have made a couple videos since then about it. And there's another one upcoming. Slow it down. This is the TLD shirt. What's your opinion about SpaceX? I think they're cool. Clippers will LLL this year. You're probably right. I'm just going to say something in the chat. Sup. It just disappeared instantly. Just gone. You could probably not even tell where I typed that. Hey, guys. Whew, gone. All right.
Someone can screenshot it and tweet it at you.
That would be really impressive. This is 1080p. I should be in focus. Not that it's the sharpest, highest bitrate 1080p in the world, but it's if you want to watch in 1080p, you can. It's probably not worth it. I can do like 1440p streams, but the higher the resolution and bitrate we stream, the longer the delay. So like what you're watching right now happened 10 seconds ago. But if we do, I think we tried 1440p at like 30 or 60 FPS with a higher bitrate, and it was like a 40-second delay, which kind of makes it hard to read the chat and talk about what's happening in the chat at the same time. Not that it's easy now, but oh boy. Video delay is less than chat delay. Yeah.
What mic are you using?
Right now?
Yeah.
This is the Blue Yeti Blackout Edition. I did a video about just the Blue Yeti months ago, maybe a year ago. But it's USB mic. It's one of the most common YouTube mics probably ever. I think that and the Blue Snowball are probably tied for most common USB mic ever. People love the on-camera mics Rode makes, but this is just like close to me and near me, cardioid pattern. Pretty easy. Do you play RuneScape? I do not. That's random.
It's been in a video.
It has. Oh yes, yes. So it's been in a video, but I don't play RuneScape. What is about the Essential phone? All right, let's talk about the Essential phone. Let's talk about the essentials. I've now used it for like 3 days, right, since that video. So what? 72 hours, I guess. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I am obviously a person that likes stock Android a lot, so that makes it easier for me to enjoy. I don't think I would like this as much if it was running, say, a skin, like a heavy skin, like a Samsung skin version of Android. But I do really like it. This, like, I don't know how well you can see that. This indent in the top. I changed my wallpaper so it's a little bit easier to see, but there's probably reflection, so it's hard to tell. But the indent in the top, not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. You still swipe down from the top and you can see everything. The only weird thing I'm having is like, and these can be fixed with software updates, but just random lag in the camera. I'll open up the camera app and try to take a picture, and it'll like lag for a second and then take the photo. Or I'll open up the camera app and then switch to mono mode, and it'll lag for a second before switching, and then I try to take a picture and it lags again. It's just weird that something with so close to stock Android would actually lag that much. That's something I haven't seen before. I'm really used to like a OnePlus or a Nexus or a Pixel or anything near stock Android, even HTC for that matter, being buttery smooth. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it is actually usually buttery smooth. But yeah, it's been pretty decent experience. The LED notification light is actually pretty awesome. I didn't realize how much I missed that because there's been a lot of phones that don't have it, but that's good. What, Android Oreo? It'll probably get Android Oreo. Videos on consoles? What about like
Just a lot of people are asking about it.
Oh, just about consoles.
Why don't you get any?
Well, probably because I'm not the biggest gamer, so my console experience, I don't, and even like people use things that aren't games. People go Netflix on their PS4. People go use other things for their consoles. For me, I just use my PS4 for NBA 2K. There's a game called Resogun that I play once in a while, but it's mostly a 2K box. It's a 2K machine. Yeah. My Nintendo Switch is a Mario Kart machine. And my Xbox is a Forza machine. So I'm not the heaviest gamer. So I don't know if I'm the person to make videos on consoles or console gaming or comparisons between them. I can try, I can give my perspective, but that's about all I do. That's probably what we'll end up doing in another live stream. Just play some games. Probably play some games against you guys if that's possible, if we can figure that out.
How was poker the other day?
Poker the other day was pretty hilarious. So I can tell the story of what happened. Like, we're in the city. I'm in New York City after some Samsung stuff with Austin and Ken and Jimmy. So those are two people he works with, essentially employees. So it's me, Austin, Ken, and Jimmy. We get back to the studio here yesterday, and the power for the whole building is out. So, like, I can only show him around so much of, like, what's in here. I mean, he's been here before, but, like, we can only do so much here with no electricity. So we just literally went over to the poker table and started, like, Austin and I have played poker before, and we taught the other two how to play poker, and then we just, like, played Hold'em for, like, I guess, like, 2 hours. It was pretty decently competitive. I think we were being nice because we didn't want to, like, take everyone's money immediately, but Austin and I had some pretty big hands in the beginning, taking each other's money. And then Ken is a bit of a loose cannon, so he was just kind of betting on everything and seeing if people would fold or not. And then Jimmy was just kind of playing like learner's poker, and then we all kind of played for a while until it got dark and we needed to eat again. Then we left and ate. So I didn't win, actually. So we kind of just played until like 8 something, and then we were like, all right, last few hands. And I think at that point I went from chip leader to like 3rd place, and then for the last few hands we just went like betting crazy because we just wanted to see what would happen. So I didn't win. Mayweather or McGregor? I would bet that Mayweather will probably win, but I kind of want McGregor to win. Not that I'm like betting on it, but I'll watch it. I will watch it. That I will do. What's your daily driver? Essential phone. I think I mentioned that already. And iPhone 7 Plus. Yes, still a lot of chat. Still a lot of chat. How many people are... 15,000 people are watching right now. That's why there's a lot of chat. Just trying to pause it. Yo, let's see who can guess what camera this live stream is coming from. First person to guess.
How we find the first
I think I'll probably be able to see who will guess first, but who will be the first to guess what exact camera model this... Okay, a lot of people have said the name of the company that makes it, but someone got close. No. Hasselblad, no. Okay, yeah. A lot of people are saying Sony. It's not. Oh, someone said it. I gotta scroll up. Someone said it. Oh god, I think I lost it. Nope, found it. Someone Gaston PM said it first, as far as I could tell. Oh no, someone right above him said that too. James McBurney. Red Raven. This is coming from a Red Raven right now. Mainly just because it does HDMI out, and we get a pretty clean, simple image from it. We're also going to try C100, but this worked pretty fine. You are on a red right now. People were asking about the Hasselblad for video, if you should use it for video. Here's a note on this Hasselblad. This is a Hasselblad X1D. It's a mirrorless camera. It's about the size of a mid-sized DSLR. It has a medium format sensor, 50 megapixel sensor, leaf shutter in these new lenses. This is an incredible photos camera. I love taking photos on the X1D. In fact, I have my SD card behind me in that computer. But it is not a video camera at all. In fact, it takes video, it's capable of video, but it will literally only record... I would show you the video options, but it's probably too hard to show. In 24 frames per second, 1080p. That's like it. I think it'll ask me if I want to do 720p or 1080p. It doesn't even give me the option for like shutter speed or different bit rates or quality compression settings. It doesn't do raw video. It's just not made for video at all. So don't get this for video. I mean, you probably already know that if you're considering getting this, but fun fact of the day. But I love it for photos. I should probably reiterate that. A lot of emojis. All right. Fan meetup? Question mark. I don't know. Oh, well, 5 million subscribers, someone mentioned. That is a very close milestone I've noticed. And And in terms of like when that'll probably happen, it's probably in the next few weeks and months, and we'll probably do a pretty huge giveaway to celebrate something pretty awesome. Hint, hint, wink, wink. That's probably all I can say.
Someone said, what's your typical shooting workflow? How long does it take from start to finish?
It depends on the video. Like if it's a Q&A video, for example, the workflow is pretty simple. First thing I do is I tweet. I ask on Twitter what your questions are. Then the workflow is just scrolling through Twitter and finding some good questions and saving the links to all those questions. Then what I do is I save them all to Pocket, actually, and then I go through Pocket and I screenshot all of them, so I have pictures of all of the tweets for the video, and then I put them all in a Dropbox folder, and then I open the Dropbox folder on my phone and scroll through the pictures of the tweets one by one, and I answer them all on camera. So that's the basic general workflow. And then import everything, keep it all raw. Final Cut Pro just crushes it, and export and upload. Nothing too crazy there. But for something like a review, it takes longer. So like that Q&A video might take half a day. It might take 12 hours or less to make everything from the time I ask the question to the time I upload. But a review video will take a couple days. What about the Red phone? The Red Hydrogen, I gave you guys literally everything I know about the Red Hydrogen in that video about it. So if you have any questions about it that you think you might want to ask me or that I might be able to answer, then you would have to go to that video. That's everything I know about it.
Do you think companies should go back to smaller phones now that Infinity's displays are here?
Smaller, yes. Not like small. Like I remember the days when a 4.3 to 4.5 inch display was the big phone. Now that's pretty small. But the body size of those phones, when you looked at the bezels and the speakers and everything, was like the same as today's small phones. So yes, in other words, I do think phone manufacturers should go to smaller phones now that they're shrinking the bezels, but not too small. I still like big screens. Hope that makes sense. Jeez, it's still going really fast. Does the Storinator perform well? Yep, so far so good. No problems with it. The power outage, it survived the power outage yesterday, so that's good too. Someone said, what do you think of Elon Musk's opinions on artificial intelligence? That's really interesting. So Elon Musk has in the past talked about the dangers of like artificial intelligence going rogue and dangerous artificial intelligence, almost like, yeah, it's dangerous. But then a lot of people ask, well, what about Google Now and what about Siri and what about these things that we use every day? I didn't think they were dangerous. There is a difference between artificial intelligence and machine learning. I think there's a distinction there. So machine learning is what obviously all these companies are doing with our data and combing through it and being able to recognize patterns and do the same thing about a pattern as when they see it the next time. Machine learning is awesome, and I don't think that poses any imminent threat or any danger. But artificial intelligence, as you can kind of tell by the name, is kind of a new layer on top of it where it begins to make its own decisions. It's not just doing things that we've told it to do, but it's also making further intelligent decisions. That's different. That is what Elon Musk has said can be pretty dangerous. I kind of tend to agree with that, but I think you have to separate it from machine learning. Check your Twitter. All right, I'll check my Twitter. Twitter.com/MKBHD. Let me unplug this. Yikes, there's also a lot of tweets. So there's plenty of...
People are saying, how did they donate? Do you just want to mention that in the next chat?
Yeah, so the donate thing, to slow down the chat, is what's called Super Chat, and it's not enabled in this stream right now. I think between this stream and the next time I do a live stream, I'll have it enabled, so hopefully that can do a better job of slowing things down and keeping better track of everyone's comments. But for now, there is no super chat. Hopefully, very soon there will be. Do you prefer 4K at 30 or 1080p at 60? I get this actually. That's one of the more common questions I get just in general. Is why don't you do 60 frames per second videos? And the short answer is I'm just used to 30 frames per second, so I'm keeping it that way. But the long answer is like I've tested like 24 frames per second video, I've tested 60, and it just doesn't look right to my eye. And a big part of like all the rest of the way I make videos about tech is to keep it as realistic looking as possible. And 60 frames per second looks too smooth, especially when it's a person like talking and making gestures. It can be helpful for showing animations, I'll give you that. That's definitely good. But I think I'd rather slow that down into 30 FPS video to show you if there's any stuttering than the other way around. And then 24 frames per second video, to me, literally looks choppy. When I play back, when I do like pans and like glider moves and slider stuff in 24 frames per second, it looks like glitchy, like choppy in a way. Depends on your shutter speed, but I've stuck to 30 frames per second because I think it looks the best. So I'll take 1080p 30 over, or I'll take 4K 30 over 1080p 60 for that reason. Will you go to Nepal? Maybe someday.
Someone said, what would your daily driver be if you weren't reviewing it?
What would my daily driver be if I wasn't reviewing anything? Probably the Pixel, honestly. Probably the Pixel. And I honestly get the question a lot, like, basically people try to put me in the box that they're currently making a decision in. So like if they're like, what would you use if you couldn't use your current phone and you only had $400 and you weren't a tech reviewer and you lived in this part of the world, what would you do? It's like, okay, well, now you're just you want me to tell you what to buy, which I get, but I think I would use a Pixel right now, but clearly I can't like tell exactly what I would use. Which phone do you buy? I buy the phone. Hey, someone said, hey Marquez. What's up? Let me slow it down a little bit. Is that an that keeps that I'm literally shocked at that. Oh, I guess I'm not shocked that that's tech news, but someone said, is that an iPhone 8 in Tim Cook's pocket? Maybe. Have you seen that article? It's just literally, it's a picture of Tim Cook with like a rectangular outline in his jeans, like everyone has, obviously, and then there's like The Verge and CNET have written articles about like, is this the iPhone 8? Who knows? Who cares? It's Tim Cook. It probably is. Whatever. How's the Essential Phone's battery? It's pretty good. And I've, again, only used it for a couple days, but right now I'm at noon. And let me see my battery percentage. I was going to ask you to guess it, but that would just be a bunch of numbers. 74% battery percentage.
People are going to guess, and this should be 1,000, so.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's right. Oh, no, that's not right. What's my screen on time? 2 hours of screen on time, 75% battery left. So that's pretty darn good. That checks out to 8 hours if it lasts that long, so I'm not mad. Do you do wireless charging? I use wireless charging on some certain phones that make it easy. Like Samsung's has a little dock. You just put it on the dock and you're good. Some phones come with wireless charging but no dock, so if they don't work with the docks I already have, then I don't really use it as much. Custom ROMs, I don't really do custom ROMs anymore. I used to be way more into custom ROMs, but not anymore. That was back in like the Galaxy Nexus days. That was the first phone I ever waited in line for. Samsung Galaxy Nexus on Verizon. Back when Samsung and Nexus were a thing. Also, I was at the Essential Phone event just hanging out for a little bit, and I met the guy who was essentially in charge of making Google Play Edition phones. He was in charge of the conversion from HTC what was it, M7, HTC One M7 to Google Play Edition HTC One M7. And he told me that, and I literally stopped my conversation. It was just like, my man. Like, I shook hands with him. I was like, you should go back to doing that, please. But obviously that's not happening. Favorite shirt? I kind of like this one, but I also like the one that I just made, so there's that. I do not use screen protectors. Nah. A lot of people ask about that. And the common trend is like, oh, you don't really care about your phones because you have 500 phones. No, I take really good care of my phones, and I don't drop them very often. The last phone I dropped and broke was years ago. I did drop the OnePlus 5 while getting out of my car a couple weeks ago. It was like right before I shot the review. So I went to OnePlus and I was like, hey, I dropped it. It's not broken, but it has these little, like a couple little scuffs on the corner where it landed on like the ground. And I was like, I haven't shot my footage yet. If you want to send another one to make the footage prettier, then they were down and they hooked me up with another one. So I have drop phones, but I really am not into cases. I'm not into screen protectors. Even with a phone like this, you would expect someone to be into like cases and screen protectors. I'll probably put a skin on the back because this is just such a ridiculous fingerprint magnet, but that's about it. I just kind of like holding the actual phone, you know? Is that weird of me? Add music? I'm not going to add music. This is a pretty solid live stream right now. Your audio is off. If your audio is off or like out of sync, I think just refresh it and ideally it'll get as close to synced as possible. Nokia 8. I haven't gotten my hands on that yet. That's the one thing it's been a while since that first got announced and I still don't have hands on it, and I don't have any like contact with them, so ideally I get to play with that soon, but I have no opinions on Nokia 8 so far. Where's the snake? Oh, the snake's not here. The snake's next door. RIP headphones. Did I really wreck your headphones just by tapping the mic like that? Are you planning to build a desktop for the 8K monitor? No. No. Slow down. Bigger batteries. Why don't they give us bigger batteries like 5,000 milliamp hours? They can. It just that's a really big battery. I think you might not appreciate how tightly packed the internals of a phone are. Someone says talk about the 50 megapixel camera. This is the 50 megapixel camera. This is the Hasselblad, if you can read that at the top, X1D.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see blessing in chat.
You're gonna if I didn't kill your mic before by tapping it, I definitely just wrecked your mic now. Hasselblad X1D, handmade in Sweden. Rock hard, rock solid. This thing is all metal. This is the 50 megapixel camera I've been using. Here's why it's awesome. Oh, there goes the chat. Thank you. Here's why this camera is awesome. And I mentioned it briefly before about how it's not a video camera. Medium format. I think I'm going to make a video just about medium format because it's a different aesthetic. It's a different look. The sensor size in a DSLR, a crop sensor DSLR, for example, like the one I started with, the Canon T2i, is like about that big, let's say. I mean, it's not actually that big. It's more like that big. But let's say it's this big. That's the T2i sensor. When you get a sensor that big, it's still really big compared to like your smartphone cameras, which are tiny. So you get this like really nice shallow depth of field. You get a wider angle field of view. And it's just prettier. It's better looking, and then it's more close to real life the way your eyes see things. But a full frame DSLR goes from that crop size sensor to a big full frame sensor. And that's why you see like some razor shallow depth of field shots with like stuff like the Canon 5D and 6D, an even wider field of view and an even shallower depth of field. It can get dangerously shallow. I've done shots like by accident where your eyes are in focus but the tip of your nose is out of focus. Like it's that easy to get too shallow with the depth of field wide open. That's a full frame DSLR. Medium format is bigger, way bigger than full frame. So this is a 50 megapixel medium format sensor, an even wider field of view, and an even shallower depth of field. And just that look you get from medium format, it doesn't get much better than that. It's another reason I'm really excited for the VistaVision Red camera. That could be terrifyingly cool, but that's for later. So this is that. So there's a 50 meg. I have the Sony A7R is a 42 megapixel full frame camera. The Canon 5D SR is a 50 megapixel full frame camera. All these 50 megapixel-ish cameras exist already, but medium format is different. So this camera being this thin changes the game, and that's the TLDR of why I love it so much. What are your Yeti settings? I just have it in the cardioid pattern. That's about the only setting. It's like half up gain. That's it. Yeah. Have I didn't...
Any videos about AR or VR in the future?
Yeah, I've thought about it, but it's hard because showing the AR or VR experience is the hardest part. Like I did a studio tour in 360p, so it's VR or 360p. I did a studio tour not in 360p, but in 360 degrees. So you could like look around as I talk in front of you. You could look around in the studio and kind of be in the studio. I thought that was a good use of it. But yeah, I've never done a 360p video. That's a lie. I probably have. But actually showing like someone experiencing AR or showing like trying to give the, you know what I mean? Like giving the viewer the experience of VR or AR and explaining it and talking about it and talking through it is almost harder than like actually giving the experience. Like Google Glass was an example of that. I did a video about Google Glass way back in the day when it first came out. And I'm trying to remember how I did it, but I think I literally just took a macro lens. If you remember what Google Glass was, it was the thing that was on your head and there's a little prism in front of your eyeball. And I took that and I took a macro lens and I got it to focus like on the actual image. And then I had to like dub things over so that the glass would do things as I was talking. It's really hard to shoot AR. So that's the bottom line, is it's a challenge to even make that watchable. Is the OnePlus 3T the best phone ever? Do you still use the Pixel XL? No, not right now. The new Pixel is about to come out though, so ask me that again in 2 months. The next studio tour. Oh, I thought you meant this studio. Soon. Like the What's On series? Soon. Alright, I want to ask you guys a question. Do you have any feedback for the live format? We've already talked about Super Chat. I think that would be a pretty helpful tool to like slow down and answer questions more easily. We have the mic here. We have the Raven here going into HDMI into a capture card and live streaming. What other feedback is good? It's too fast. What other feedback do you have for the live stream format? Or what other stuff could we do on... That's another question. What kind of stuff can we do in a live stream? Gaming? Just talking? Walking around? Doing it on my phone? Do it in a smaller room, someone said. Talk to Elon Musk, someone said. Do it on Twitch, someone said. But, wow, it's moving fast. Get the snake. Someone said get the snake. Should we get the snake? You want to try to get the snake? Let's try. Behind the scenes. Live callers. Oh, live callers. That's an interesting concept. I saw Lou did that at the Unbox Therapy, his channel. He's done live streams where he has like a burner phone, basically, like a SIM card that's activated for a couple minutes, an hour or two, and like takes live calls by like giving out that phone number, which that's pretty bold. I could give that a shot. Improve the audio, okay. By like being near the mic or like a better mic. I think it sounds pretty good, to be honest. Giveaway live. Yes, a giveaway live would definitely be fun. Oh, having guests on. That's the other thing. I think a live show with like guests like with me or like a conversation with guests could be also pretty fun. Not necessarily an interview, but just like topical stuff. Like a new phone comes out, say, and we get to talk with someone like the CEO of the company about the phone. That's something I have done on this channel in a live show. Thoughts on Kyrie going to the Celtics? I think that's a win for the Cavs. The Cavs just took, there's designer. The Cavs just took the best player from the second best team in the East. They have a strut to the Eastern Conference Finals. What's up?
It's about to shed.
Like about to, like how soon? Like
probably next day.
Whoa. All right. Well, there's your boy. Can you see her? Yeah, you can see her. I didn't say anything to you, Siri.
A little out of focus.
Am I out of focus? Oh, the snake is out of focus?
Yeah.
Just because I'm holding it up. He's not like really long enough to go around your neck as much as the other one is. But there you have it. Put him down right there.
So basically I just scroll.
Do you vlog, someone said. I think I talked about that in a Q&A. Not really a vlogger. Oh, behind the scenes. Video lags. Yeah, I've said this a couple times, but if the video is lagging behind the audio, just refresh. And ideally it should sync up as close to live as possible. Let's see. Multicam, someone said. Multicam, yeah, this is the great setup. Just for those who don't know the behind the scenes of this, to get this mic all the way over here from the computer that's halfway across the room, the audio, the USB cable goes from the microphone off underneath the camera, and it doesn't quite reach the computer, so we plugged a keyboard, which has a USB hub, into that computer, and then plugged this cable into the keyboard, and then plugged the keyboard into the computer. So it's like 20 feet away, but it's perfect. It works great. Yeah, Siri always thinks you're talking to her when you're not. So, HealthMate app. Yes, I've used the Nokia HealthMate app. The only reason I use it is because the scale I have, what do they do? I think they bought the company that makes the scale, so they just took over that data. Do you have an 8K TV? No, I do not. Where are you? There you go. Budget laptop. Oh, that's gone already. Siri. Which Siri would activate in Mac or iPhone? Probably the one on your, whatever's closer to you. So your iPhone. She went right for the iPhone. You went right for the iPhone. Which phones are near me right now? The Essential phone, the iPhone 7 Plus, and the iPhone 8 dummy. Have you ever fitness tracked an Ultimate game? I have not, actually. I usually don't wear fitness trackers while I'm playing because they're like decently bulky, and that's enough for me to not want to wear it. But I imagine the numbers would be insane. What about Pixel 2? I've done a video about Pixel 2. Damn that quality. Is that a good thing? Damn that quality. That sounds like a good thing. Can the snake unlock your phone? Probably not, because it's my fingerprint. Oh my god, do you see this chat? Have you seen how fast it's going?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's really hard. It's really hard to read stuff.
Even slow-mo, it's like... If you tell her the passcode, she can unlock the phone.
Should I tell the passcode?
Yeah, the skin does work on screens.
Oh man.
She's like, "I want a few calls with you."
It's mostly the tongue. Like, she got the screen on the red to work, so.
Someone said, are you having the same red problems as Linus had?
No, I haven't. That's the thing. I see Linus having his problems with his red all the time. I can't say I've never had problems with my red. but any problems I have had have been pretty easy to fix, and they haven't lasted very long, and the service has been great. So yeah, no, I haven't had the problems that Linus had. I saw the last problem he had was like literally the mags weren't working. You saw his note video. The mags would just refuse to mount for minutes on end, and I've never had that happen ever. Hydrogen 1 plus iOS. Hydrogen 1 plus iOS, that seems like a terrible idea, considering how much of that is proprietary. Where are you going?
A lot of people ask if you're doing any type of like Bitcoin or cryptocurrency.
Not really, no. In fact, literally none at all. Although I know people who do, who are very happy right now, because Bitcoin is... Yeah. What mic is that? This is the Blue Yeti Blackout Edition. Slow down. All right. Thoughts on Canon's lack of 4K? Canon is maybe the most stubborn company I know, and that's saying something because there's a lot of really stubborn companies out there. Canon's lack of 4K in many of their new cameras being released in 2017 is, oh, she's gonna unplug it, is part hilarious, part sad because of how stubborn they have to be to do that. But at the end of the day, they're just shedding customers, and Sunny and Red will pick them right up and be totally happy. So yeah, it's unfortunate for Canon. But I kind of want to be in the meeting room where like someone at the company, it's like their first day, and they're like, so I think we should put 4K in the new cameras, and the boss is like, no one wants that. No, let's add a button though. Let's add a selfie mode.
Do you have any IKEA furniture?
Do I have any IKEA furniture? The biggest piece of furniture in here is IKEA, that thing. So yes, I do have IKEA furniture in here. What do you think of Apple HomePod? The only experience I have with Apple HomePod is I got to listen to it alongside Amazon Echo and I think it was a Sonos speaker. It sounds great. But obviously it's dependent on Siri. I think she's chilling there. All right. Just don't unplug it, okay?
Someone's saying what tripod combos are you using?
I've used Manfrotto stuff for a long time. So someone said, what tripods are we using? Manfrotto, either carbon sticks or like aluminum, like the regular tripods, and then the 502 or 504 video heads. And then basically you get the Manfrotto plate and put it on everything you ever need to put on the tripod. And it's just a matter of clicking them on, clicking them off, super fast, super easy. Cheerios. There's no Cheerios in this frame. Is that true? That is true. There's no Cheerios in this frame. You're right for now.
Give your best phone-related joke.
Phone-related joke. It's a lot of pressure. I'm not very good at jokes. Why was the iPhone 6 afraid of the iPhone 7? Because the 7, 8, 9. And that's the part where everyone unsubscribes and leaves. Yeah.
That's the official iPhone 9.
That's the review. That's 7, 8, 9. I'm so sorry y'all had to hear that. Hello. How tall are you? I am 6'3". Boobies. Thoughts on Canon 770D. I'm so far behind on all the crop sensor DSLRs Canon's put out. It's literally one a year at this point, and sometimes there's no difference between them because nothing new happened in the last year of cameras. So my experience goes back to like, let's see, what was that? It was the T2i, and then it went to the It was T3i, but there's like a bigger crop one that's between T2i and 5D at the time.
Is it T5i?
Yeah. Oh, what was it? Oh, 60D. 60D is the last crop sensor DSLR I used from Canon. All right. Come here, buddy. Just gonna start typing. AirPods, do I use AirPods still? Not really. What headphones do I use? Okay, so mostly, actually, okay, Bose Quiet Comfort 25, the QC25 and the QC35. The QC25 are wired, the QC35 are wireless, and they're awesome because most of the time I'm listening to wired headphones, it's on a plane, and they have this great noise cancellation, so they work great for that. And then outside of that, it's just the Jaybirds or Bluetooth like to speakers. Like I have a bunch of different Bluetooth speaker setups in my life. My car is Bluetooth, home speakers are Bluetooth, so no headphones required there. Is that a NAS? That is a NAS. Am I pointing at it? That is a NAS right there. Yes, it is. No, it's actually not network attached. It's just local. It's a LAS. That's the Promise Pegasus R3 48 terabyte RAID array, and there's less than 10 terabytes left on it, so that's a thing. She opened a Spotlight search but didn't type anything, so I'm assuming she's done. Thoughts on the Note 8 battery? Yeah, the Note 8, so that was one of the controversial things about the Note 8, and a lot of people might forget, but Galaxy S8 Plus came out last year, has a 6.2-inch display and a 3,500 milliamp hour battery. Note 8 came out, or was released or announced, has a 6.3-inch display, but a smaller 3,300 milliamp hour battery. So it's a slightly smaller battery and a slightly larger display. Oh, that's actually really convenient for you, isn't it? Or inconvenient. I don't know if you're stuck or just chilling. Nah, she's good. Oh, it's out of it's off frame. You can't see it, but there's a little notch in the desk that she doesn't fit in, but don't unplug it. Holy chat, it's so fast. Thoughts on the Chromebook? They're cool. My parents love them. Note 8, poor use of space. Could I say that? I mean, there's also a stylus on the entire inside side of the phone, so the S8 Plus doesn't have to have a stylus, so it's kind of not surprising that it has a bigger battery. But you could say poor use of space. I don't blame you for that. Takes on the squeeze feature on the Pixel 2. So that's something I did not expect. HTC U11 has the pressure-sensitive sides where you can squeeze it, and I did a video on it, kind of trying to figure out like, is that a gimmick or is that natural to use? A lot of people didn't like the video because they thought it was a review and they thought I was like skimping on a review. I think I made the mistake of even talking about specs at all in that video. I just wanted to analyze like how good is that squeeze. And it's you can get used to it, but it's one of those things where you pick up the phone and every time you pick up a phone from like on a desk, you might accidentally squeeze it to like too hard to trigger it. Every time you take it out of your pocket, you might accidentally trigger it. So you have to set up the squeeze to trigger something that you're comfortable with accidentally launching a lot. So it was all right. And then of course we see Pixel 2 is going to have that squeeze feature also, which you can disable and never launch and never use a day in your life, but chances are people are going to try to make it useful, try to launch Google Assistant with it, try to maybe launch the camera with the squeeze. I already have a double tap of the power button to launch the camera, so I don't really know if I would even use the squeeze feature on the Pixel 2. I think I would keep it pure like I do with the Pixel XL, with the original Pixel. But that's just me. there she goes. I don't know if she realizes how far it is to the ground. Let's see. Video looks like it's not coming from a red. Well, that's because it's being compressed a lot and live streamed over your internet connection. And bottom line is there's no way you'll ever be able to tell it comes from any camera other than a webcam. Other than the fact that there's a kind of a shallow depth of field, and like my hand is out of focus when it's way up here, but it's in focus over here and out of focus back here. Barely. Scroll. Can you live stream your... Hey, she's back. Can you live stream your reaction to the Apple conference while you're watching it? Chances are I will not, because I will probably be there in the audience when Wi-Fi is really hard to come by. I think last time I was there, I tried to do an Instagram Live, or I tried to do a Periscope. And there's so many tech people in such a small room, or a small amount of space, that the Wi-Fi and the internet is just really hard to come by. So it was really choppy and hard to do, but I can try it again. Let's see. Thoughts about designing a phone? I think I would rather stick to giving feedback on phone designs than designing one myself. I'm not actually a talented designer at all, unlike this one. Unlike this designer. Let's see. What other? We could do a couple more questions. How long have we been live, by the way? I don't even... Almost an hour? Whoa. Oh, it's 12:27. All right. We could do 3 more minutes, and then it'll be an hour, and then we could wrap it up. I think I've learned a lot from this live stream about what works, what we want to do in the future. Can you dance? Yes. I'll just end it at that. Model 3 thoughts? I pretty much summarized that all in my video about Model 3. iMac Pro. Yeah, okay, so a lot of people are asking, Marquez, are you going to get an iMac Pro? You did a video about it. You don't seem very excited. I am going to get an iMac Pro. And the reason is the speculation about when the next Mac Pro is going to come out. iMac Pro comes out December of this year. Mac Pro is coming out sometime next year, which probably means not January or February. It probably means like September, October, November of next year. So in that year's time, I will be iMac Pro, because this Mac Pro is dying. 2 more minutes. Get your questions in. Feel free to blow up the chat. Not with the emojis of explosions, but like, feel free to get your questions in. And we'll call it. Oh, that of course made it go way faster. Do you miss Nexus phones? Not really, because we have Pixels. What I do miss is Google Play Edition phones. Those were pretty awesome. Having a stock Android version of like several of the most exciting third-party made phones was dope. Thoughts on USB-C? I've made a video about that too. I love it. Oh, wow, that's fast. This is impossible. This is so fast. What favorite lens? Favorite lens would be Sigma 18-35, with a close second being probably a toss-up between the Zeiss 55 Zeiss 55 1.4 or the Canon 100mm macro. What time do you wake up? Like 7-ish? What happened to the Bluetooth speakers? Oh, that's a video that's upcoming. Whoa, you are shedding on purpose now. Look at that. I see what she's doing. Here, I'll provide a surface. What do you think about the non-touch bar MacBook Pro? I think it's fine. I think it's probably a better buy. A lot of people don't really use the touch bar that much, so they'll get the touch bar MacBook Pro and then not use it. How'd you get into Ultimate? I started playing right before high school, and I haven't stopped. Did you see the eclipse? Yeah, I saw the eclipse, but it was a pretty lame partial solar eclipse, which just means like you can see the crescent of the moon blocking part of the sun, and then nothing else changes. So, new bucket list item. see a total solar eclipse, which should be possible in the next couple of years. And then you get like the literal like darkness in the sky. Apparently, we got like a 73% blockage of the sun. Did not change the brightness at all. Apparently, you only get a change at like 99 to 100% coverage. That's when it actually like gets dark, which is cool. All right, guys, it's 10:30 or 12:30. I don't know what time it is where you are, but we've been live for about an hour and it's been lit. I think we're gonna call it. So basically, thanks for watching, thanks for commenting, and thanks for chatting. If you have more questions and stuff, obviously you can hit me on Twitter. Oh, don't unplug it. I'm hanging out on Twitter all the time, so I've seen all your questions and stuff on Twitter. I'll probably go through Twitter later today and just answer stuff that hasn't been talked about. But live was fun. I'm glad we tested this. I'm glad we got this done. So yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.